Hello, my lovely Cancerians. Welcome to your September 2018 reading. This is a general reading for you, my lovely Cancerians. Also listen to your rising sign and your moon sign. Some months they will resonate more for you than your sun sign will. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, you can follow the link below to my website and book a reading from there, which will give you an opportunity to have a one-on-one reading that is very specific to you and your situation, that will resonate with you because it is about you. This is a general reading. Some things will resonate with some of you, and for some of you, a lot of it or all of it will resonate. So let's have a look here. I'd also like to thank you for, before we get started, I'd like to thank you for subscribing and for liking and sharing and commenting on my channel. I do read all the comments and I do enjoy reading those comments, and thank you very much for your support. I'd like to thank all those lovely Cancerians that I've given personal readings to. It's been really lovely connecting to my subscribers and putting a face to my subscribers, having an opportunity to give you your personal reading. So thank you for that. So let's have a look at what's in store for you for the month of September. Okay, I feel like before, when I'll just look back on August. I feel like in the past there has been a period of time where energies have been a little bit low for you Cancerians, and I feel like it was a time of and for some of you it's still ongoing, of looking after yourself, of really taking time out, of having a rest. But in that time out, I feel like there was a need to process and review where you're at, where you're going, goal setting, reviewing what's gone on in the past, what changes you want to put in place, but also being kind to yourself and re-energizing, calling in that energy and rebalancing so that you can move forward with clarity. I feel like moving forward with clarity. There is a time around you where, beginning of September, there is going to be a time of completion of situations that have been difficult, situations that have been, I want to say, taxing, time intense, exhausting. That's coming to a close. For some of you, it's the completion of a study, or a phase of that study where you have done well with that study. That's coming to completion. So now it's time to re-energize and just recoup, get your energy back and be kind to yourself. Take some time out. It's a time for some of you, where there's been situations and circumstances that have been difficult, but you have learned a great deal about yourself, about the people around you. So you have also learned a lot about the situations of what's going on around you. You've gained wisdom, you've gained knowledge, you've gained skills in dealing with all sorts of people. For some of you, it's in your work environment where there's been situations where you have there's been trying times, but you've learned how to handle people, you've learned how to handle situations. So it's been a real learning curve for you in that instant. For some of you, it's about your personal life going in a direction that you haven't been happy with, or there's been endings, and you've learned a lot, you've gained a lot. So there's completions there for you coming up in the beginning of September, and when those completions come through, it's really going to see you in a much better space. It's a place where, when you've had that time to take time out and recuperate and review, it's really going to be very clear to you where you want to move, how you want to move forward, what's changed within you. I feel like there's a change that's happened within you. And only you know what that change is, but it's something shifted in you, and it's going to allow you now to move forward with more confidence, with more determination, with more clarity, with projects, with purchases. I want to say purchases as well, knowing really what it is you're seeking, There's a lot of thought that needs to go into this, though. You really need to draw on past situations and what you've learned from past situations. Don't be impulsive is what I want to say to you. Don't be impulsive, because I feel like you could fall out of the pan into the fire. Just be careful about take the time to really consider these changes that you want to bring in. Take the time to consider. I feel like there's people that, some of you are wanting to move people out of your life that are no longer serving, or they've caused friction, or for whatever reasons, there's this moving away from certain people. Just be careful that you don't fall out of the pan and into the fire. Consider your actions, because I feel like once you make those choices and decisions, it's going to be very difficult to go back on that. So really consider the choices and decisions you're making, because there is going to be a temptation, I feel, to move on, to cut people loose, to I want to say I've had enough of that situation. I don't want to be in that situation anymore. Just be careful with that. Make the choice. Consider the choices, consider them. Make sure you're rested. Make sure you have removed yourself from the situation so that you can just recuperate, because I feel like a lot of it's been emotionally taxing on you, and there's this impulse to cut people loose, or change a situation, or move away from a certain situation. Just be cautious with that. Make sure you're making the right decisions for the right reasons, because it could get tricky. So it's not that it's going to, but the warning here for you, what you need to be mindful of is, what mental state are you in when you're making those decisions? Don't make them on impulse. Take time out to consider your actions. If you're really tired, if you're emotionally stressed and strained, we make poor choices in that instance. So pull yourself back and really review and consider the changes that you're wanting to make. Okay, because what that's going to do is, you've got the Page of Swords here, and the Page of Swords is about you planning. It's going to lead you to planning where you want to be moving to. What new things do you want to bring in your life? What goals are you going to set? So it's a goal-setting month for you, Cancerians. It's going to be a goal-setting month for you. What changes do you want to bring in, and what plans and goals do you want to set yourself for the future? How do you want to set yourself up? I feel like you're able to look ahead quite a fair distance, so that you can plan that holiday, plan that purchase of a house, plan that move, plan that change of job, plan that promotion. What do I need to learn for that? So I feel like there's this list making, there's this goal setting, and I feel like for the first time in a long time, you have this clarity of vision. You have this clarity of vision. You know what you want. You know what direction you want to move in, and you know what you want to bring into your life. Okay, but in making those choices and decisions, I feel like you're balancing two situations. You're balancing, and they can be different people. They could be you and somebody, your partner, your family, someone that's important to your life. You've got to assess. You've got to balance. You've got to see what's going on. For some of you, this transition is going to mean that you're going to be working at two jobs. You're going to be working at a job. You're going to be studying. There's a balancing of situations here that's going to come up with these changes that you're bringing in. They're not going to be cut and dry changes. It's something that happens in a transition. It's a transitional change, and for a while you're going to be balancing a couple of situations that it's going to take some skill. And so it's really important that in the first week of September, take some time out for yourself. Go and have a massage. Go and do something nice. Go away for the weekend. Do something nice for yourself, because you're going to need that energy for this transition. You've also got the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is about new opportunities coming your way, bringing in changes that you've always wanted to bring in, these changes that you felt passionate about. These new beginnings you felt passionate about, what you've always wanted to do, but you have been restricted by things, circumstances and things in your life and people in your life. Now you have an opportunity to really give birth to what you're wanting to do, the direction you've always wanted to move in. And it's interesting because you've got two cards for this next, hopes and fears position of hopes and fears, and you've got the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups, which is really interesting, because I'd say, you know, okay, the king can be male or female, the queen can be male or female, but you've got them both here. And, you know, they're Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It's very much your sign. It's your sign that's here. And so I want to say, who's the other water sign? You know, I feel like one of them's you, but who's the other water sign in your life that is going to create, that your thinking is going to create some blocks, some hassles, some problems, some situations, some emotional upset? There's something that's going to rock the boat here. Okay, it's a coming together of emotions. It's a clashing of emotions. It's going to be a time of really putting your ideas forward. And I feel like one of you is going to be really strong, really controlling, really stubborn. And so this is what you're fearing, but it can actually work for you. It all depends on how you handle it and what you do and how you say it. But there's going to be also a lot of emotion in this move, in this change that you're wanting to bring in. There's going to be someone that you're going to have to bring around that is going to feel quite emotional about this situation. They may fear the changes that you're wanting to make, because the unknown is always, people are always fearful of the unknown because they don't know what lies ahead. Okay, so always make these changes with integrity and honor, and consider other people around you. But it's also about diffusing emotions, because you've got a double serve of emotions coming up here towards the end of September. So be mindful of others around you and how they are feeling emotionally with the changes you want to bring in, with changes that you want to bring in. This is an interesting card to have at the end. This is your last card, you know, and I just feel like, what are you leaving behind with these changes? What are you leaving behind that there's going to be some sort of consideration or regret about, some connection still that you have in what you're leaving behind? It's about focusing on where you're going. So it's really important to focus on where you're going. Otherwise, you're going to want to go back into the situation that you're wanting to change, whatever that is for you. I feel like there's just so many possibilities here for you. It can be so many different things. And for some of you, it's a whole lot of different things. It's about focusing on your vision, focusing on where you're heading rather than what you're leaving behind. I feel like this has got a lot to do with this situation here, this emotional situation that's around you. It's going to really cause you to doubt yourself. It's going to cause you to really consider, what is it that you're doing? Maybe you need to go back to the past. Maybe you need to just keep the status quo. Well, you need to really consider what it is you want and not be manipulated by others. Not make decisions and choices that are not the right ones for you. Don't allow other people to pull your strings in moving forward, in gaining what you want to gain. I'm going to actually pull another card here because that interests me, that card, as to what it is you're leaving behind. There's a lot of new opportunities coming up for you. You are walking away from a situation. You are walking away from someone, something, be it a family situation, be it a partner, a relationship, something that you thought you were passionate about that you no longer are interested in. It's like, I want to say to you, you've had enough. And where Cancerians usually crawl into their shell and just hope things will go away, I feel like you're going to really be driven to come out and really look at the situation around you and the changes you want to bring in, because you're going to be walking away from some situation that is going to be a real emotional connection here. A move for some of you. Some of you are moving interstate or changing location, which is, causing you to leave some things behind. Maybe family, maybe, people that you love. So don't let that hold you back, though. You really need to honor yourself. Honor the self. I've also taken a card from the Dreams of Gaia for you to see what the energy overall is for you, and it's really interesting here. You've got the four of water. the Four of Water, and it's interesting because, you know, that's very much your sign. That's very much your sign. And it's about really looking at yourself, looking deep within you and honoring who you are and what you want, and be strong about what you're seeking. What's your purpose in life? What's your purpose? You know, your purpose is, you know, people say to me, well, what's my purpose? Well, you've got to find your joy. Once you find your joy, that is your purpose. That is what you're meant to be doing. When you've got that spring in your step and you can wake up every morning and be excited about what the day holds, that's your purpose. That's your joy. That's your joy. And it's really about self-analyzing, looking deep within you and being honest to find the direction that you're needing to move in. So September holds an interesting time for you, Cancerians. I send you many, many blessings and ease and grace with the changes that you're going to bring in. And don't forget to honour you in all of this. Take time out to really reflect what changes you want to bring in. And you will work it out, because it's very clear to me that you will work it out. You will move forward, which then opens up a whole lot of wonderful opportunities for you. So many, many blessings, my Cancerians, and I will see you next month.